right, I think we're good. Welcome to Cooking Videos, whatever the hell I call this program. Cooking Videos with Dave, 141. We got some Cuban sandwiches and some pasta dishes up on deck. We'll give everyone a second to come on in here, and then we should be ready to go. Just check. Something real quick. All right, let's start. Iconic Miami Cuban sandwich is the gold standard.
I immediately stopped
This is one of the things I think is kind of on my list I probably should cook.
looking for a better one.
But the big problem is that I'm not the biggest baker in the universe.
It's the best sandwich I ever had. 8 trips to Miami, dozens of Cubano sandwiches, and this hidden gem, Las Olas Cafe, was the only one that truly spoke to me. And it wasn't just the perfect shredded mojo roast pork or the salsa verde that they served it with, but it was how they served the sandwich. They don't cut it in half on the bias like a normal Cubano sandwich. They cut it lengthwise, long and skinny down the middle, and then take those cut halves and sear them on the griddle. The result is something that eats more like a hot dog, and strangely to me, reminds me of like a Big Mac.
It's like a hot dog and a Big Mac.
The sandwich is a revelation, and today we're inducting it into Stevie's Food Hall of Fame, and making it from scratch. Real roast mojo pork, homemade Cuban bread. This is the
That's my only thing with it. I'm fine making the pork and everything else, but the goddamn bread is such a cunt to work with.
Las Olas Cubano, the best Cuban sandwich I've ever had. Now, a Cuban sandwich consists of 6 ingredients: Cuban bread, mojo roast pork, ham, mustard, pickle, and Swiss cheese. A lot of those things, they're taken care of for us. 2 things need our attention: the roast mojo and the Cuban bread. And those require being prepped in advance. So let me take you back to yesterday. So now to make a Cuban bread, like many breads or pizzas, we need a starter. And the starter is pretty simple. It's basically 1 part water to 1 part flour and a little bit of yeast. So I have 120
So based on the beanie, is this guy related to Tim Pool?
grams of water here, 120 grams of bread flour, and I'm going to combine the two into a tall container. Now I've got some instant yeast. To make the starter, I'd go with about like half a packet of yeast in there, which you can do. However, I happen to have some starter in the fridge already, some leftover. Fed it a little bit of flour and water just to keep it alive. There's probably like 100 grams in here. And so since we have like this active culture already in here, we're just gonna contribute that into our new starter. You can even take this residue, add flour and water to it, 30 grams of flour, 30 grams of water, and you can make new starter with just that residue on the side of the container. And then we're just gonna mix that up together. You're gonna make sure you get all the dry flour at the bottom, and it's just well combined. What you should be looking for is just like a very wet dough. We're gonna pop a lid on this guy, place it in the fridge at least overnight, but you would keep this going. Ideally, you just feed it a little flour and water every day, or when it starts to collapse, and you could keep this going forever, essentially. Now, a starter isn't the only thing we need to get done ahead of time. We need to make a beautiful aspect of this recipe, which is the mojo roast pork, or at least the marinade for it and get that pork marinating early. Overnight is best, 2 days, that works great as well too. So the first aspect of the mojo is generally would be sour orange, but we don't have that. So we're basically gonna replicate that by using 2/3 a cup of orange juice and then 1/3 a cup of lime juice. That with all the spices and garlic, mwah, some of the best pork you'll ever have. Now, based in my experience, 2/3 of a cup is gonna roughly be 3 oranges. I'm just gonna take my fork, poke it, sort of breaking up the fibers, allowing me to juice it a little bit more thoroughly.
Not to be an ass, but why don't you just use a juicer?
And easier, sort of rotating it, making sure I just get a good yield out of each half. You can also, funny story, I had to get an MRI on my arm the other day, kind of panicking, kind of slightly claustrophobic. Turns out the MRI tech was a follower. Great guy, Joe. Shout out, Joe, thank you. Made me feel at ease. Was able to get the MRI, no problem. I'm gonna start taking care of it. All right, so we've got our orange, and we can do this with the limes. 3 limes, 3 oranges works. So now I've got like this little hotel pan. This is what we're gonna roast the pork in, but we're gonna marinate it in plastic and just kind of hold it in there. So I'm gonna go in with the orange juice and lime. To that, a 1/2 cup of olive oil, roughly. We got our spices, we got some oregano. Mexican oregano if you've got, but regular is fine. Tablespoon of onion powder, can eyeball it. Tablespoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of coriander, teaspoon of cumin. Some fresh cracked black pepper, bay leaf. Now we got a whole shebang of garlic here, right? Gonna take a bunch of whole garlic, gonna add them in. I'm gonna hold back some of the larger pieces, and then I'm gonna grate them. Grating in about like 6 cloves, throwing in another 6 whole. So now we've got our marinade, we can just sort of zhuzh up. Here we have a boneless, skinless, 4-pound pork butt here.
Well, of course, Jake almost threw up making one of my recipes because Jake sucks and can't follow steps properly.
This should be enough for about 4 sandwiches. You notice we didn't salt the marinade. It's because we can't control it that way. I like to salt the meat itself because salt is not a spice. It's an essential thing, right? That needs to be dialed in. So I don't really add salt to my marinades. We're gonna go straight onto the pork. And you wanna be generous. So the way that I kind of go is just once it's kind of completely dusted all over the place, almost like a frosted donut, that's when I know it's ready. So now we're gonna take the pork and add it to the bag of marinade. Close it up 2/3 of the way and then start to suck some of that air out and just rub it around. Lay it down, then we're gonna put it in the fridge, and every few hours, I'm just gonna flip it, make sure it gets nice and evenly marinated on all sides. Now all we have to do tomorrow is throw some ingredients in the mixer, get a little dough going, empty this bag of plastic into this bin and toss it into an oven. You're halfway there. So I'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day. Our pork has been just bathing in all of that amazing mojo. Just going to slide that all in. Such an amazing smell. Then simply all we've got to do, take a little parchment, and I'm just going to cover the top. It's very acidic. Acidity and meats in general sometimes just don't react well when it touches aluminum foil. The parchment's also going to steam it, cook it really nicely, and protect it from the foil on top. You could also do this in like a Dutch oven. So now I've got my oven preheated, 300 degrees. We're gonna cook it nice and slow for about 4 hours. At around 3 hours, we're gonna remove the top. We're gonna put the heat up a little bit higher. That's going to both brown the meat and prep the oven temp for when we ultimately are gonna bake the Cuban bread in.
I'm not pretending. I know you're there.
Is what we're going to
It's just I learned from a long time ago, don't talk to stupid people.
start on now. Now, the flour for this recipe, it's gonna be bread flour. So I got me some of that organic.
You know, Sarah, I'm going to use small words so you can understand. Calling me a coward is like calling somebody a racist these days. That word has lost any and all meaning.
Stuff
Especially when I consider the source.
I actually got a flour mill. We're gonna start milling our own flour eventually. Now, outside of the starter we made yesterday, that flour and water is going to be factored into the equation today, but we need 450 grams of this bread flour measured out. Now to that, we've got our starter from yesterday. I mean, look at that. She's beautiful. Now we don't need all of this. I only need 250 grams of it. That's gonna leave us with some left over because I made extra yesterday. I have a pizza recipe in mind, so I'm just going to keep that leftover and we're gonna feed it and just keep it going, and that's what you should be doing with this type of thing. 45 grams of lard. Lard is what makes Cuban bread. Gives it that crisp outer shell that doesn't sort of shatter, but kind of has stability, and that fluffy, pillowy inside. Allows it to get smushed down and gives it that iconic texture. Then we got 15 grams of salt, 15 grams of sugar. Salt, gonna be the last thing that gets added. And then we got the rest of that half pack of yeast that we use to make the starter. We've got our bowl. To the bowl, we have 225 grams extra of warm water. We're gonna add that straight to our mixing bowl. Now we're gonna get all set up here. We're gonna get the dough hook in. Gonna add the sugar.
I gotta upgrade my mixer.
The yeast. I'm gonna start mixing in the flour, but I'm gonna add it a little bit at a time. This allows that flour to slowly get introduced into the water, make sure it gets nice and hydrated. Add a little.
It is a Cuban sandwich. The problem is you can't buy Cuban bread. You gotta make it yourself.
A bit more. Get that dry flour from the sides worked in.
Hopefully, God Emperor Trump gets the gets the import ban on Cuba lifted.
A little bit more. Now I'm just gonna take some of our starter and measure it out because I don't need all of this. Just 250 grams. Get that worked in, and then the rest of the flour. Now we can add in our lard, room temperature, of course. Once it's all come together, I'm just gonna raise the speed. I wanna just allow this to knead for a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or until you can kind of stretch it into what they call a window pane, or just basically means stretching a thin layer of it without it tearing immediately. So what we're gonna do is just let it go, about 10 minutes
Which garlic chicken recipe would that be, Jake?
or so, and then begin testing it. And you're gonna see the dough smooth out and kind of pull away from the walls and turn into a nice, soft dough. Forgot one thing, now we gotta add the salt. Salt always goes last. Over time, as you can see, all that stuck on bits around the bowl sort of gets sucked into the dough, and the bowl almost cleans itself, and that shows the dough's getting less sticky. It's getting some structure built. It's a good sign. Now let's check for the window pane. You see how it stretches and it kind of pulls thin, but just at a certain point, it breaks in several places? That's telling me we're on our way and almost there, but not quite there. So we're gonna go a little longer. Now, after about 13 minutes, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes to just relax. Sometimes the dough needs a minute to relax to really assess it.
You picked a recipe that is 18 months old. That I don't remember a thing about. Gee, seems you're cherry picking. Believe it or not, not everything I mean, I'll eat everything I cook, but not everything I've cooked is what I would call, holy shit, holy dog shit.
After a couple minutes, I can feel it's definitely relaxed a bit more. Let's give it a test. You see how much more extensible it is? It's got enough extensibility and elasticity to hold a...
It wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't in the top 10 things I've ever cooked. I'd say if I remember correct, I would consider it meh. It's certainly nowhere near the worst things I've ever cooked. They don't make the air. I mean, I've made stuff that made me go, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was I thinking with that? My most famous one is, I got this idea for mustard burgers, and my thought was to have a nice little hint of mustard in every bite, right? So I add mustard to the burger, except I add too much. And I can't get the burger patties to form. And I'm like, okay, fuck it, mustard Joes. You know, we'll make sloppy Joes. I tried this, and I swear to fucking God, it was like I may as well just open up a jar of mustard, dipped a spoon in, and ate that. That went in the trash.
A little bit of a window pane before it eventually tears. I just got a bowl. I'm gonna hit it with some spray oil. I'm just gonna knead it into a smooth ball. We're gonna cover it, and we're gonna allow it to rise until it about doubles inside. Probably gonna take about an hour. Put this back here by the warm stove. That leads us back to our residual starter, right? We've got, I don't know, 50 grams in here left. So this is how you would feed a starter, keep it alive, and keep it going. Here I have 50 grams.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck up because he doesn't experiment, he doesn't take chances, and he doesn't ever want to innovate or grow. You know, it's easy to always have a hit when that's all you fucking play. The same 10 tired songs. As I call him, he was so basically, Jake is the Leonard Skinnard of cooking. Just play the hits and get out.
Grams of bread flour, 50 grams of water. I'm gonna get that old starter, the new water, and the new flour all mixed in. So now we got new starter in here. We can just cover it up, and then this can just live in our fridge. It will eventually double in size, and if you ever see it then deflate back or get watery or sort of break, the yeast has just eaten through everything.
I don't know about regularly, but out of, let's say, 15 dishes I make that are new, or ideas that I come up with, or new recipes, or whatever, I'd say probably one of them ends up in the trash, yeah. I don't know if that's regularly, but...
And that's what feeding it is. You're just adding more flour, more things for the yeast to eat through, fart a little bit, create the bubbles.
Well, if I fuck something up, I'm not gonna choke it down just because some asshole's starving. Again, probably about 1 out of every 15 dishes hits the trash. Again, I don't know. I guess in my world, that counts as regular.
And then that's the thing that makes bread and pizza dough.
If that's not regular in your world, okay, you have a different definition of the word.
Great. It's been 3 hours of cooking for the pork, so we're gonna take it out, see where we're at. It's actually still a little bit tougher than I would like, so we're just gonna cover it again. We're gonna let that go for, basically it's stuck around 170, 175, which is kind of, if you know anything about pulled pork or barbecue, where the stall hits, which is basically when evaporative cooling is taking place. It's like the meat sweating, like when you run and sweat, that's meant to cool you down. Same thing's happening with the pork, which is preventing it from pushing past that point into that tender zone. Depending on the size of meat, that might happen at different points. And it's again why I'm not gonna tell you exactly the amount of time to cook it. I'm gonna teach you how to know when it's done. So in the meantime, we're gonna work on something that I don't know is like super traditional to this, but Las Olas Cafe does this, so that's what I'm doing. It's actually nice to serve this sandwich with a condiment. Split down the middle, easy to dip. So we're making a raw salsa verde. That involves, 8 tomatillos. Now, when you want to shop for tomatillos, you want to look for tomatillos with like really fresh husks, not dried out, not torn or brown.
No, actually, if you really want to know the pizza thing, is A, I like pizza, but B, it's a real easy way to get ahead on episodes. Because, Sarah, I don't know if you know this, I actually make content on my cooking channel, whereas Jake doesn't. That's the difference, sweetheart.
Nice and green. These are all examples of a nice fresh tomatillo. When you open it up.
All right, let's just get to the fucking sandwich.
Nice, but a million other moms are gonna get one too.
Why does this look like the beginning of a lesbian porno?
Custom glass print from Fracture.
Is another time. I like to take one side at a time and wrap it and almost use the cling wrap to sort of help keep its shape. As it rises, it'll sort of create some tension and hopefully allow it to raise up rather than out. We're just gonna let that rise. So I let it go for
He lost the log. There's like 8 ways you can get your login shit back.
the 4 hours.
That's bullshit.
Way more tender. Now, just wanna set this on the meat side up. We're gonna baste this sucker. We're gonna now jack the heat up to 400 degrees, which is the temperature the bread is eventually going to bake at. And while that comes up to temperature, we're going to brown this meat. Just give it a check every few minutes, rotate it around until it's beautifully browned and
Yes, there is. Or do you not know how to read the little sentence? Password recovery. Password recovery options. Also, if Jake is that fucking stupid, maybe, just maybe, he should write shit down.
caramelized with that marinade that gets
That's bullshit. That is a bullshit excuse if I've ever heard one. I have enough new YouTube channels to know better.
It's caramelized on top of the beef. It's such a yummy flavor. You just eat it plain, forget the sandwich, throw it on some rice, you got a meal.
But literally, the pizza thing is, it kills like 6 episodes. You know, it's boom, boom, boom.
And you see how they doubled in size? Beautiful. All we've got to do, take a very sharp knife. We're just going to use the tip of it. We need to score the bread so it has a place to expand. So we're just going to take the knife and very quickly cut down the middle. Now our oven has hit our preheated 400 degrees, so while that meat's in there.
Oh, that's called laziness. Yes, the guy who makes roughly about 200 episodes of my show a year versus Jake's, 0? Yeah, I believe that is. It's 0. And also, let's just say for the hell of it, he did lose the logging credentials. Okay. Create another channel.
We can throw these in. All I want to do,
Call it annoying liberal douchebag cooks crap.
a little bit of spritz of water on top. We're gonna pop it in. That's gonna cook for about 25, 30 minutes. We're gonna rotate it halfway through, and we're really just looking for like a little light golden brown. We don't wanna go too dark. We're gonna be cooking this in lard on the griddle. I mean, I'm turning you into a Cuban and a baker. We can't do anything
Please do not turn me into a filthy commie.
to these until they cool down. And now our pork is done. It took longer than even I anticipated, even for any pork that I've cooked. So again, the recipe is less important than knowing when it's done. And one easy way for us to check, it goes in and out easily. That's one way to check. That's the most definitive way to check. Also the temperature. We can see it's hovering around 208, 209. At the center, it's at 203. Now, of course you can use it, but best practice, you wanna wrap this up nice and tight and allow this to cool down and relax. It's good now, but if you give it time to chill down, calm down, just chill out, it's going to be 5 to 10 times better. Now, since everything's pretty much ready to go,
Oh, I never thought I could dunk on Jake. For one thing, I don't think I could pick the fat fuck up.
I got my griddle over here, and I got a nice, heavy, big cast iron pan. I'm just gonna lightly, gently start warming them up so they're ready when I'm ready to make the sandwiches to get fired up and cook. Now the pork is cooled, and if you know anything about a pork butt, it consists of various muscles connected by fat. So what I wanna do here is take this guy, put it in a bowl, and what I wanna start to do is sort of just remove muscles and eliminate any unwanted fat. So you're almost just like pulling it apart. That's all fat right there. It's not the good type of fat. That's all fat right there. Gristle and all sorts of stuff like that. I think it's beautiful. Squeeze it all together. Mix all of the muscles together. Combine them. And we can take some of that juice, get that worked in. All that flavor gets reabsorbed by the pork. So now we're ready to make sandwiches. Now one of these loaves,
Have I ever shied away from the fact that I'm a big fat fuck? I swear to God, these people are fucking retarded.
Cloves will make
That's what being a leftist does to you.
two sandwiches. You just take the butts off, cut it in half. Not bad, huh? I'm gonna cut it nice and evenly, right down the middle. Gotta make my doorman one too.
Just hurry up with
First
a
up,
fucking
we got mustard on
sandwich.
each side. Yellow mustard, the only time I really kind of use it. Spread it on.
Fuck's wrong with yellow mustard, you fucking piece of shit? Yellow mustard's delicious! And it's the only topping for hot dogs!
Nice and even. And we're gonna go with a slice of Swiss cheese on the bottom and the top. Then I've just got my ham, some nice deli ham. I'm gonna fold it just like that. Then we go with pickles on the bottom, then on top of that the pork. Nice even layer.
All right, Sarah, I'll give you that one. Walked right into that one, put my dick in my mouth.
Then another
Mustard to a point is delicious.
piece of cheese in between the ham and the pork, and then right on top. Then we're gonna take some softened lard, and then we just paint the top with it. Then we're gonna place those sandwiches right onto that hot griddle. Place that heavy pan right on top and weigh it down any way you can. I'm using a wooden spoon. We're looking to flatten that sandwich and toast and crisp up the outside of that bread, all while melting the cheese inside. Just like a grilled cheese,
So this is basically just a heart attack sandwich.
we're gonna flip and rotate it every 30 seconds to a minute until that cheese is melted. But we wanna be careful to manage the heat because we don't want it to darken too much. We want a nice golden brown on the bread. When it's crisp and the cheese is melted, get it off the griddle. Now for the trick. Normally, a Cubano's cut up like that, on a steep angle so you get like sharp points to eat it. The better way, maybe all sandwiches are better this way, down the middle we cut it, lengthwise. Nice sawing motion.
Well, I think I might try this technique next time I make a sub sandwich.
Now that's about as perfect of a sandwich that I've ever seen, and is perfectly fine to serve as is, but there is one missing step that Las Olas does, which is after they
I live off of cheese and carbs. I mostly live off of meat. I enjoy the idea that for my dinner something had to die.
cut it lengthwise, they place that sandwich back on the griddle, cut side down, and this is where you get sort of that Big Mac In-N-Out flavor coming out. It's the mix of that mustard frying with the meat that mimics that mustard fried In-N-Out burger flavor. This is a top-level technique, and it's why I love this place so much. Now we're ready to serve. A little bit of salsa verde, and you're in heaven. It's the best sandwich I've ever had. Nothing beats the way this eats. The bread.
All right. All right, let's do this.
That's been dipped in tangy chopped tomato. We had a customer come and shop
By the way, it's tomato, it's not tomato.
this morning wearing an MK Dons shirt, which is good because at least we know they've managed to sell one shirt. He ordered this sandwich and it is exquisite. Buttered bread cake, 3 rashers of well done griddled back bacon.
Why is it British people have to name everything so fucking weird?
2 90% pork herbed sausage meat.
What is the other 10%? There is no version of ground pork that's 90-10. Okay, I'll be fair. At least not in my country.
Patties. He's got a cheese toasty that's been dipped in tangy chopped tomato.
You mean a grilled cheese? God, what is it with the fucking people across the goddamn motherfucking pond? God, they have to name everything so fucking weird.
Place that in the centre. Plenty of HP, salt and pepper. And he's finishing it off with 2 flipped eggs.
Are you gonna melt the butter or? Oh, of course not. This is British food.
Gonna slice it in half. Oh, you mucky pup. For this, I believe they were charged £7.50. That's the best tasting breakfast sandwich.
Before I die, I want to finally figure out how the fucking British monetary system works. What is a pence? What is a guinea? What is a finny? I guess a pound is like $1. Although a pound is like, I think like in American, like $1.50. I don't know. Their monetary system is just comically weird.
I've had from Corner Kitchen. AFC Wimbledon would do it better. It's got a cheese toasty that's been dipped in tangy.
Cheese toasty. It's a fucking grilled cheese! All right, now let's see the beard guy. Another British guy, but at least he doesn't name things weird. Taking a pizza challenge, and apparently you get $2,000 if you can beat it.
We had
Or $2,000 and whatever funny money Denmark has.
to arrange today's challenge in advance, and it transpires that the owner of the restaurant has tipped off the Danish media.
All right, it's roof milk, and I pronounce it Chipotle, but it's Chipotle.
Look at that.
Whatever, I'm never going to pronounce it right.
So I'm expecting a 100-strong, hysterical crowd. Maybe a few tents. Going to be autographing some babies, kissing
No, I want a British person to explain it to me.
some grannies. Complete beard mania. Or more likely, an entirely empty restaurant. Who's gonna... Look at that. Not a person in sight. Taylor Swift, I am not.
No, it's a roof. It's not a roof. Roof.
Should we get inside?
I don't know, maybe it's a Minnesota thing.
In the mood for some pizza, you know. Been a while.
Kind of like everybody else calls it soda and we call it pop.
So, as we arrived, there weren't really any human beings around, and now there seem to be a few. I'm sort of hiding a little bit behind this tree. I'm certain they're not here to see me. They might just be smoking or vaping or whatever kids do these days, but they could be here to see me, so could be the difference between success and failure. Hi. Hello. Hello.
How do you do, fellow kids?
The challenge we're doing today is an unbeaten 60-centimeter pizza. It costs 500 Danish crowns to attempt, but you win 2,000 Danish crowns cash money if you can finish it.
So that's probably like $8 American.
Sounds like a lot, but I'm not sure how much that is in English pounds or dollars. We find out? 230 pounds and 80.
Sarah, I really have no interest in fulfilling your sexual fantasies, so no.
Pence. Could I order one giant pizza, please?
Yeah, the pizza challenge.
Yeah, the pizza challenge.
Yeah, of course you can.
It appears to be served in a box. So in the interest of finding out how hard this could potentially be in advance, I wonder if...
Okay, I just have to go centimeters to inches because God forbid the rest of the world use proper measurements and they got to instead of the fucking metric system. So it's a 23-inch pizza. Americans have bigger.
we could get a box. Well, maybe I didn't want to see the box after all. Take it away.
You cannot lose today, man.
Nah,
I don't think you're gonna do it.
no?
No, that's too big.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're going.
All right, today we're at a place
That's
called
a big
Shawarma and
motherfucker.
Grill, which is in Skive. Skive in Denmark.
Yeah.
And we're doing battle with their as yet unbeaten 60-centimeter pizza challenge If you finish this, you win 2,000 Danish kroner.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah? 30 minutes?
All right, I had this is just driving me nuts. Danish krona to the US dollar, so 2,000 would be $300 to make sure I don't poop right for 2 weeks.
Time limit?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
I know. Can you tell us what's on here, real quick?
Yeah, it's our meat lover. It contains, of course, tomato and cheese, kebab, ham, sausage, beef.
Pardon my ignorance. What type of kebab? Chicken, beef, pork, lamb?
Beef and chicken.
If you're ready,
Then I've got to assume the kebab is lamb.
I'm ready.
Which, that actually... Hold on, let me back this up just 1 second.
It's our meat lover. It contains, of course, tomato and cheese, kebab, ham, sausage, beef, and chicken.
Lamb, ham, beef, and chicken. That actually sounds fucking delicious.
If you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I would fail at this. I would fail utterly, but because I'm not the man with 7 stomachs. But that pizza sounds fucking good.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh god, this poor bastard. He's got his fans watching.
See the 2 girls over there? They're enjoying some type of rap while watching the show.
Think he's got it? Yeah. Yeah?
15 minutes tops.
11 minutes. 17.
Those are some crazy numbers. 11 minutes? What are you talking about? I'm not sure if I ever had kebab meat on pizza before, but it works. I like it.
Look at that. Said you like a Formula 1
Oh, yeah, kebab would be lamb. Yeah.
driver with the pizza. Yeah.
Basically, they take a shit ton of lamb and they rotate it on that one vertical spit you see in Euro places. Or as some people call them, gyros.
You're starting to realise why it's better to watch an edited video now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I love that she said yeah. No hesitation. Yeah. Do you have any sauce?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, that's 5 minutes down, Adam.
5 minutes.
Here you go, Adam.
Thank you very much.
A little bit of everything here as well. Our own dressing, garlic and chili.
Okay, if I was attempting this, I'd probably ask, can I have a bowl of red sauce? Just because of the tomato's acidity.
What's the sauce?
There's definitely tahini in there. I've got one of the secret ingredients. Now the hard work begins. Crust.
It's wild behaviour that you don't just do crust first.
Who's a professional here?
About 10 minutes down, Adam.
I'm falling down. You think I'm allowed to stand up? Am I allowed to stand up or no?
Of course.
Yeah?
I had one. He took a run out here and came back and...
Took a run?
Yeah.
The guy took a run and came back?
Yes.
I'm not going to do that. I just want to get some more water. I'll be back.
You see how much is left? Look how much is left. There must be 2 pieces worth there. And if you were to put that together, there's 2 pieces down here.
Is my face starting to swell up again?
How is this guy not 780 pounds?
Yeah, you do look like you've been stung by some bees.
Bees plural.
Yeah.
More than one bee. Right, come on. It's starting to slow down here. We should probably have sat a little bit away from the door. Pizza's starting to cool rapidly. If I lose this one, I'm blaming you.
Fuck it, like a football game that you recorded.
5 minutes left. Yeah, 25 minutes.
All right, one mouthful. All right, it's a big mixed food. And that was shawarma and grills, 60-centimeter pizza challenge.
So does this guy just go back to his hotel and just puke all this shit up? Like, is he actually one of the, 18 male bulimics throughout history?
Just about beat. Which one of you lunatics said 11 minutes?
Me?
You want a dessert?
Oh, she's seen the videos before. Absolutely, yeah, if you go to...
We have a dessert ready for you.
That was delicious, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was amazing. You want the dessert now?
Why not?
I'll take
Thank you very much. Look at that. That looks interesting. I don't know what it is, but...
Yeah, what is it? What's this?
It's a Lebanese cheesecake.
Lebanese cheesecake. I've never had that before.
Our pizza man's mother made it just for you.
The pizza man's mother made it just for me?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I said thank you very much. That's really kind.
Now, I love cheesecake, but I've never had Lebanese cheesecake before. That is incredible.
I swear to God, this guy was either born with a separate stomach, a twin that didn't come to fruition, or something. Either that or my stomach is a lot smaller than I think it is.
It's amazing. It's got like a sweet aromatic taste to it. Almost like kind of Turkish delight. It was touch and go there, boys.
When it took you, I think it took you 15 minutes to do like the last, maybe 8th of it, and it was clap cold. I was like, it might not do it, you know.
It was exponentially getting colder.
Yeah.
I'm glad I started with the middle actually.
Here you go, Adam. 2,000 Danish crowns.
Oh, thank you very much. There you go, Josh. That's for you, not skiving today.
Thank you very much.
Get off it. Keep it, mate. Keep it. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
You thought you got a bonus?
As if I'm going to give you 2,000 crowns. Oh, no.
Okay, that's just gross. All right. And here's probably another reason why I don't like Jack Black.
I mean, look, a cheeseburger is the best sandwich in the world, and
Okay, I agree with that.
that is my bad boy meal with some fries.
What's your favorite smash burger right now?
You know what? I'm gonna come out and say I'm not into smash burgers. Where's the beef? It's
Where you oh god.
mostly char, and the beef is in there, but it's smashed. I like a big, fat, juicy burger. My favorite burger. It's obviously the apple pan.
My favorite. What's your bad boy meal?
God, I will never understand. Now, I like burgers both ways. I don't give a... Okay, I don't like a super thick patty. But I like my patties, but I also like my smash burgers. Like, I don't understand these people that make 8-ounce patties. The beef to everything else in the sandwich ratio is just off. Well, speaking of smash burgers, let's do this.
We just screwed up inventory so bad, we're dumping $200 knives for $20.
But it's smoking and grilling.
Okay, folks, listen. I got it. I'm making a cheeseburger, and to be specific, we finna make a smash burger, right? I'm just finna show you how to season it, how it comes out right, and teach you the proper technique. Let's make these smash burgers. All right, so listen, let's talk about the smash burger, right? If you guys wanna be more precise, I'm gonna give it to you in ounces, right? So listen, if you want a thinner you know, patty, it'll be a little bit more crusty. You know, that's what really gives it the smash burger. That's what gives it its name, smash, that crust, and that's that flavor, right? What you can do is you can make them 3 ounces. If you want it to be a little bit thicker, like for me, I want them to be 4 ounces. All right, so listen, I know everybody's not gonna have a scale. I have one because, you know, that's just part of, you know, my kitchen repertoire, right? So look, this is kind of like the size of what it's gonna look like, and this should be about 4 ounces, right? So I got it zeroed. We put this on the top. I got lucky. This is it right here. We just wanna have a 4-ounce ball. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these.
Now that's big for a smash. That's big for a smash burger. That's about the size of burgers I like.
And then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so listen, I got some brioche buns, right? Listen, this is what I do. I know some of you guys haven't seen this ever in your life. Listen, I'm using mayo to toast my buns. I don't know how to put it to
Mayo's pretty good. I prefer butter, but mayo's a damn good substitute.
you guys.
And yeah, sometimes I use mayo.
I don't know how to stress it enough. This is the secret weapon. Right? You gotta put that mayo on there. It gives you more of a buttery flavor than doing it with butter, right? So please try it.
I did, and mayo is it's almost like splitting hair. It's personal preference. I just prefer butter. That's it. Yes, I do love mayo. But when I'm toasting burger buns, I prefer butter. When the fuck did I say I didn't like mayo? Again, are you like a blonde? You're not blonde, are you? Or does leftism just make people lose brain cells, women in particular?
For those of you guys that already have been watching my channel and know that I do this always, and you guys are doing it, tap in down in the comment section below and let everybody know just how good this is. And no, it doesn't taste like mayo. Okay, so look, if you want to know what it looks like once you toast it, you see that right there? That's a whole lot of buttery goodness right there. And yes, that's mayo, folks. So I'm gonna set that there. Let's go ahead and look at the top. You see that? That's what you want. It makes the bun so soft. And I'm gonna tell you the real truth. This is like really like an extra. Look at that right there. Woo! If you have them, check this out. If you got some buns and they're a little stale, toast them with that mayo, they come right back to life and be super soft. All right, so look, as you bringing up your skillet or whatever you guys are doing it on, I wanted to do it outside, but it is so hot out here in Vegas. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do is now make our burger seasoning. What I'm gonna do is, I'm going to just make this.
So it's too hot to grill, but you're gonna heat up the house by cooking inside. Whatever. I'm not paying your AC bill.
This one on my own, but this is not what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna be using my own burger seasoning, which I'll show you guys in just 1 second. And don't forget, this full ingredient list will be on my website, smokingandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com.
Well, you can always buy your oil from the U.S. All right, I have to be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna add, you know, a couple teaspoons of garlic powder. We're gonna do a couple of teaspoons of onion powder. Now, it's up to you guys. If you want a little bite, you can put a little cayenne pepper in there. I'll just put just a little bit in there. I'm not finna put no teaspoon of it in there. A little oregano. You guys gonna like this seasoning right here, folks. Then we're gonna put some paprika. Now we're gonna add a couple of pinches of salt. I love kosher salt, folks. I like to coarse grind, that's what I put in there. And then if you guys wanna add yourself some black pepper, go ahead and grind yourself some. For me, I just grind. You're gonna need about a good teaspoon. Now, if you got multiple burgers, you know what I mean, you're gonna be making something for a party, I say double or triple this, but I'm giving you guys the measurements. And again, they're on my website, smokingandgrillingwithab.com. That's WITAB.com. Okay, so this is what we get ready to do. Now, you wanna make sure that whatever you're using to, you know, make your, you know, your patties is nice and hot, right? So I'm gonna grab these two right here. And there's the key. I'm gonna keep these separate because I wanna make sure I explain this the right way. I put these down just like that. You hear them sizzling? We just put them down. I know everybody has been told don't smash them because you'll push all the juice, but I usually let them stay like this for about 10 to 15 seconds. Then I get myself some parchment paper. I use my press. If you guys got anything to hold bacon down or anything like that, I use that, right? So after we get there, I put this right over the top. And then I push down. I don't let it just push all my juices out. I don't let it get that hot, right? So once we got them down like that,
technically,
I wait.
Technically, he's not making smash burgers. They're about the same thickness of my quarter-pound patties, but I pre-smash those.
Now slide this off, pull that back, and there you have it. Now I'll do the exact same thing with this one over here. Now, smash burgers don't take a long time, folks. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasoning on here. I'm doing these right here, this section, with the seasoning that I put on, that you guys just seen me make. For the next one, I'm gonna go ahead and use my seasoning. You know what I mean? Then we'll get a taste tester in here.
No, they never have been.
Here to check it out. Okay, so I want you guys to take a look at this right here. You can see it starts to cook. Once you start seeing it start to rise up and cook to the other side, then you wanna go ahead and get underneath it. You want to get you something that's sturdy. I love these spatulas. Then I flip it over. Look at that crust right there. That's what makes smash burgers taste so great. It's that, right? So now, while we have that cooking on that side, we finna make this sauce. But first, we add our cheese. All right, so now we make our sauce, right? So we got our mayo. And again, you guys can go to my website and get all of the ingredients. One cool thing about going to my website is just the fact that everything is there. If you need to know how to make a certain type of special fry, you want to know how to, you know, have something that pairs with whatever you're making, all of that information is there, right? So we just add it all in here. Now this is the burger sauce that I've been going with forever, folks. I want you guys to let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Obviously this is ketchup. Then we got a little bit of that Dijon mustard. All right, now we're getting ready to go ahead and just add this right here on top. Look at this right here. Now, I don't know about y'all, I feel like if it's not getting all over the place and all over your face, you ain't got enough on there, right? So we'll put our sauce on there like that. For me, you guys do it however you want to, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my pickles on like this. And yes, I like a lot of pickle. To be honest with you, I prefer to have always, you know, a sweet pickle. I don't like dill at all, you know?
Really? I mean, I like any pickle, and for me, burgers is, it depends on the type of burger. If I'm making a spicier burger, yeah, I prefer like a sweeter pickle. Actually, with smash burgers, because of the crust, I prefer bread and butter pickles. But for a standard burger, I like the good old-fashioned dill.
But to each their own. Now we're gonna go ahead and just take this. I'm gonna slide this right here on top like you see. And we finna do it AB style. We finna just go ahead and get ourselves, you know, a double. And I just talked to you guys about that sauce, right? So why wouldn't I put some sauce right here on the top? Okay, as promised, now we're gonna talk about these two products right here. Listen, I got my burger seasoning and I got my barbecue seasoning. This is what we're gonna do. I do a little bit of a mixture right here. So if you guys come in here and take a look at this right here, I just put a little bit of this on each one. You know what I mean? And then I come back with my other and add that on there too. I make these videos for people that go ahead and, buy, some of the products that I sell, you know what I mean? So they know exactly how to use it, what to use it for, and give everybody an idea. So they not just buy the product and then.
I've never actually put dill on popcorn. Next time I make popcorn from scratch, I'll maybe try it.
And you on your own, right? But you see that right there? Look at that. Yes, sir. Okay, so one thing about a smash burger that I want to make sure I'm.
Oh, come on, Gloop. Don't be modest. You know Jake. You're Jake's sweetest pickle.
Clear about. They let you know when they're ready to flip over. When you start seeing it bubble on the other side and it's trying to cook itself from the bottom to the top, that's a telltale sign, right? And these right here smell incredible, right? So I usually get underneath the bottom of them, right? You want to get yourself like a sturdy, spatula, because you got to break that seal. That tells me that we got that crust going on the bottom, right? And then when we have it like this, then we just.
Why would I waste my time? And honestly, why would he waste his?
Give it a flip. You see that right there? That's that money. All right. Then to make just one more, we're going to put it on top, just like they do it at the restaurant. We're going to bring this right here over the top.
Oh, I'd eat the shit out of that.
Put this over there. I know some of y'all saying like, dang, AB, where is the bacon at? Don't trip. I'm finna make some. Okay, folks, as you can see.
How many burgers you gonna fucking make?
And by that thumbnail, it depends on which thumbnail you guys are seeing. I went ahead and added that. Look, I got a little smile on my face because I got a lot of cheese. I got smashed burger. I got smashed patties. And then I got that boom, that bomb sauce, right? So with all that being said, I'm finna take that. I'm gonna turn this around like this.
Again, as I explained, using the word coward on me again is like using the word misogynist. It's God, what's the other LA team? Baseball teams drive me nuts. There's the Dodgers, but I thought they had one in the majors. Oh, no, take that back. I think they moved. The Angels. Let's see here. Got time for one more. What do I want to do? All right, we'll do this preppy kitchen.
Today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making a quick and easy pasta carbonara. So let's get started. First off, grab a big pot. We're gonna fill it with water and bring it to a boil.
Yes, one of the great ways to save time is to assume that people know how to boil fucking water!
We're gonna place this over medium-high heat, but always salt your pasta water well. It should taste like the ocean. While the water warms up, we're gonna grate 1 cup of cheese, specifically Parm or...
And yes, always salt your pasta water, but don't bother with the goddamn oil. Now look, because it does nothing. If you want to add it, fine. I don't care. It's your oil, it's your money. You can use it how you want. Drip it on your neighbor's dick and jerk him off for all I care. But no, all you really need to do is just salt, pasta, and then stir it a little bit.
Pecorino Romano. That's about 84 grams. I'm using the finer grater here so it melts more easily. I'd also recommend using freshly grated cheese. It just melts nicer and there's nothing else in there. A lot of times, pre-grated cheeses have basically wood pulp so the cheese doesn't stick. By the way, if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. There's 2 new recipes every week. 1 cup. There we go. Plop that into a medium bowl. To the cheese, we're gonna add 1 whole egg and 3 egg yolks.
More than 1 fucking cup, sunshine.
This recipe seems like an Italian classic, and it is, but a recent one. It really comes from the 1940s.
A recent one? Not according to any fucking Italian I know.
And really, this is US Army rations in the form of eggs and bacon being used by Italian chefs to make something delicious.
I can't tell if this guy's gay or not.
And 3 yolks. Renato Gualandi is often given credit for this dish, so I would like to thank him. It's delicious. To my eggs and cheese, I'm adding 2 cloves of garlic, and you can mince them or use a garlic press if you're feeling lazy like I am. I think as long as the garlic is fresh, it's totally fine, but some people have very specific thoughts on how you cut garlic and how it affects the recipe. To an extent, it's true, but I really can't tell the difference here.
Carbonara is one of those dishes that the ingredients are so specific that once you start moving beyond it, it's one of those dishes that very quickly gets to the point of, is this even the same dish? Like when you see like chicken carbonara and it's got chicken and this and peas, because of course peas have to be in fucking everything. At some point you go, like, is this even this? I'm not saying don't make the dish, but do you still get to call it carbonara? Now, I'm not a huge stickler like somebody like Vincenzo's Plate is, but at some point, even I go, Jesus fucking Christ, is this still even in the same ballpark? Like, have we gone from baseball to football?
Season this, we're using a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. Grab a whisk. Now we're gonna mix this up and then set it aside.
Peas are fucking gross. They always have been. They always will be. They suck. They can go to hell. They can return from the depths of hell from whence they came. Fuck peas. They're fucking gross.
This will be delicious. A big kick of flavor is gonna come from thick cut bacon here, specifically 12 ounces or 340 grams.
Name 5 yeams that aren't from New York or California. Okay, teams. I assumed that. Which sport? You mean baseball? Okay. Texas Rangers, Minnesota Twins, Kansas City Chiefs, or Kansas City Royals, excuse me, sorry, Chiefs of the NFL. Milwaukee Brewers, Colorado Rockies. Do we want 5 more? Let's see. Seattle Padres, Boston Red Sox, Chicago White Sox, Detroit, what the fuck is the team name? Detroit Tigers, and Florida Marlins. Oh, Seattle Mariners, fucking son of a bitch. I had the fucking Padres in my mind, but they're like, no, they're in San Diego, which is in California.
If you like, you could use guanciale or pancetta instead. Those are both lovely options. Grab your bacon, and we're gonna give this a nice dice.
Well, considering I met your challenge twice over, well, you're in the chat, so you'll just look it up anyway. There's no point.
Nice small pieces for our bacon, and all this fat will render off and make a beautiful, rich, silky sauce for our pasta, along with the cheese and egg yolks. I'm grabbing a large pan. I'm gonna plop my bacon in right now, and we're gonna heat this over medium heat. All that fat will render out. There's no need to use oil here, but you can if you want. Up to you. My bacon's heating up and my pasta water's come to a boil, so it's time to add about 12 ounces of spaghetti in. Into our salted water. We're gonna cook this for about 10 minutes until it's al dente. I don't want it too soft. My bacon is nice and crispy, so let's remove it. Transfer it to a paper towel lined plate. My pasta is just about ready. We want it nice and al dente. When that happens, we're gonna grab 1 cup of the pasta water, which has all that luscious starch in there. It's the perfect base for a sauce. My pasta is nice and al dente. So
Tell you what, Sarah, I'll put 60 seconds on the. You know what? What is the one war that America actually lost?
let's take it off heat and transfer the pasta to a big bowl. Don't get rid of the water yet. It's time to whisk.
Well, geez, it's also possible Jake liked it off camera, but for the camera, he just said he hated it. Like, anything he's going to cook is going to be biased.
Away while we pour that water in. 1/4 cup. To our steaming.
Vietnam was never an official war, neither was Iraq. Congress never declared war.
Hot pasta, we're going to add our...
You're going to have to go back, and I mean way back.
Egg mixture along with the bacon now. It's time to give it a toss and let it all come together. Your pasta carbonara's cheese should be fully melted and look
Congratulations, Dageresh. Yes, we actually lost the War of 1812. We got the crap beat out of us.
Lovely and creamy. I can see that all the cheese is melting away. If this isn't looking creamy and silky and luscious, add an additional
Smart motherfucker.
1/4 cup of pasta water in, a tablespoon at a time while mixing. You don't want it to be watery, but you don't want it to be dry. It should be just right. And this looks perfect. Serve your pasta carbonara immediately and garnish with a little bit of parsley and flaked sea salt if desired. And just like that, your pasta carbonara is ready to enjoy. Creamy, cheesy, and all that crispy bacon. It just
All right, I have got to see this. This is probably going to be the last video of the night. Josh makes Wendy's Baconator lasagna. Now, I have forever and a day wanted to make a Baconator lasagna. The ground beef, fine, or the chopped up cheeseburger, fine. Bacon, obviously, fine. Noodles can be buns, fine. But it's the mayonnaise and the ketchup that has been hanging me up. And again, the Baconator is one of... It only has 5 fucking ingredients. It has buns, ketchup, mayo, beef, cheese. Well, fuck it, I'm going to combine them. Cheeseburger and bacon. That's it. And already I don't like this setup.
I got it. I'm like a Roomba. Welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where a dream is a food your heart makes. All right, so Wendy's CEO has said that the Baconator was invented with 18 to 34-year-olds in mind, and when my 42-year-old boss, Rhett McLaughlin, ate this Wendy's Baconator lasagna, he said,
Let me tell you, I've never felt more like a 34-year-old than I do right now.
But I want everybody out there to make this lasagna. I want this lasagna to bridge the gap between generations with...
Okay, but you can't just make a bacon cheeseburger lasagna. You have to make a Baconator lasagna. A bacon cheeseburger lasagna is easy.
Cheesy, bacony, inclusivity, goodness of inclusions. And if you're following along at home, we've broken the recipe down into 3 easy steps, and you can snag the time codes right there. We also got a full written description down in the recipe, but you can also find a full written recipe down in the description below. You can also check out the latest episode of our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, that just dropped yesterday. Tune in every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? I gotta say, yeah. I think it meets the criteria.
Let's get cooking.
In the beginning, we had to make a choice. But what we didn't realize was how far we were willing to go.
If you
Does it involve 2 women licking each other's pussy? Because if it doesn't, I don't care.
frequently need to go to the bathroom late at night, we recommend eating 2 pieces daily. If you need to visit the bathroom multiple times at night, this can be used as a meal replacement. This product is a fig bar.
All right, so now we're making the fresh lasagna noodles for the Baconator lasagna. Now, let's diagram out this dish, right? So the Baconator, it is a very classic flavor. It is a ton of beef, it's a ton of bacon. It's not like a ton of buns, it's kind of just like one. And then there's American cheese on it. So literally, we're going with the flavors of beef and bacon and American cheese. So now we have to infuse fresh lasagna noodles with American cheese.
All right, I'm not going this hardcore.
Which, to my knowledge, has anyone done this before? Trevor, well, yeah, Trevor, you did it, but you did it on Will Lasagna, because you also...
I have no idea what... Oh, for Christ's sakes, it's like the Stranger Things. That was supposed to be about fucking kids. By the time the last season rolled around, they were all beer-drinking 27-year-olds.
I'm not dead. Trevor did the food for Will at Lasagna because, like, I don't know, things are busy, and also, like, we give people opportunities to shine. And a bunch of people in the YouTube comments, one person said I got in a car crash. I got DMs from people that were like, oh my God, are you okay? I heard. Anyways, we're infusing these lasagna noodles with American cheese, which I'm very excited about. That's a little bit of cheddar powder.
Oh God, cheese powder. This fucking ingredient.
that's going into the flour, and now we're gonna whisk up the eggs. We have a couple slices of American cheese that have been melted down with milk right there. That's gonna provide some additional moisture. Some people on fresh pasta, they go just egg and flour. I actually like going with a mixture of egg and water. And then you know what? I'm gonna be a little crazy today. I'm gonna add the milky American cheese liquid, which is, what a strange color. And
yeah, but if you're going to run a series based around children, you should probably, again, end the fucking show before long after they grew up.
I'm gonna add that to our egg mixture, get all of our liquid in one place, and then we're gonna do the
Again, it's like I believe it was a Family Guy joke. Oh my God, we left Kevin home alone again, and he's only 28 years old.
Classic handmade pasta well method. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're taking a fork and we're just gonna build a well in the middle. You want the walls to hold like the walls at Helm's Keep? Helm's Deep, God! Oh, I almost made a correct Lord of the Rings reference.
God, you're a fake geek.
Maybe some Vigo, though. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our egg and our cheesy mixture, we're just gonna pour it in the middle, and then we're gonna use a fork to gradually incorporate the flour from outside in. But you honestly can just throw this into a food processor and you will get the same result. Apologies to all the Italian grandmas. The show's—
Oh, the joke is from the critic. Okay, never mind. God, that show, of all the that show deserved better. I'm just going to take couple of minutes here. That show was so far ahead of its time. It literally deserved better. Of all the show, that's one of the ones that if they decided to reboot it and did it properly, I would literally be excited for it. Normally when I hear a reboot, remake, re-envisioning, whatever the fuck, I'm like, oh, fucking shit, here we go goddamn again.
Big with Italian grandmas. They're the ones that buy all the hats. This well is holding up pretty well. As I destroy it, sound the Horn of Gondor. It's a reference. There we go.
Yes, you're right. I play games on easy mode because I don't spend all my time playing video games. And honestly, Sarah, I also cheat whenever I can because I don't want a challenge when I play video games. I just want to win.
You know what? I like the movies, but I'm watching it for the hot...
Again! If I'm playing against humans, I'll play fair. But if I'm playing against a machine, well, fuck its feelings.
Elves. Like, I like that one sexy chick with the bow. She's hot. You know. He's so hot. You thought you were gonna get lasagna lessons. Nope, we're talking sexy elves today. All right, sort of start mashing at it. Get your hands in there. There we go. And so you're looking for this to kind of become a shaggy dough, too dry.
That's one thing. There are no hot people in... I mean, Galadriel's kind of cute. I'm sorry, Liv Tyler does nothing for me. I mean, can you imagine being married to that woman? Her voice is a fucking sedative. And I think those are the only... oh, there's that one blonde chick in Rohan. She's got kind of that girl next door vibe going on.
And your pasta won't go through the pasta maker without cracking. As you need it, you'll see it'll probably...
Guys, I was grading the chicks in Lord of the Rings, not the men.
Feel a little bit wetter, and then you can just add some more flour, kind of keep smashing it.
Also, something else I love about the left, if a gay guy or lesbian woman is on the left, they are a precious treasure to be protected at all costs. But if they happen to be right wing, well then fuck them.
It with the heel of your hand right there. This isn't a palm heel strike. This is more of a palm heel mash. This is like after you get your enemy on the ground, you kind of just like mash the heels of your palm in their face. That's one of my favorite things.
That's not how you do that. Dude.
That MMA is a lot of it just looks like how like a toddler would fight. It's kind of get on top. which I respect. Actually though, if I were to get into a fight, first move, get butt naked. I get butt naked, I flop on my back, I raise my legs, and I say, get in my guard, bro. And no one
That's a oddly specific sexual fantasy.
knows what to do. This dough's looking pretty good. You're gonna palm heel mash it. Give it a couple strikes just to be sure. Then I'm gonna wrap it up in plastic wrap and get this into the fridge. And then the dough is sort of going to set up. The flour is gonna get all nice and hydrated from all the American cheese. Yeah, we put a bunch of American cheese in here. That's pretty crazy. And then we are good to roll it out and get it into our pasta maker. And we wanna get very thin lasagna sheets, able to make our lasagna, which is French for whale's womb. We have our dough out of the fridge. You see, it's got, wow, what a gorgeous color. And no, this is not similar to the Cheez-It pasta dough that we made 5 months ago. Stop saying that. So, this is pasta dough. And we have one of my many nemeses in the kitchen. I have an incredibly combative relationship with all of my kitchen appliances, which is why I try and use toddler combat on them. What I'm gonna do with the dough is I'm just gonna pinch off a little nubbin, and then I'm gonna form it into a square, and then we're gonna start feeding the square into the pasta dough, and we're gonna gradually roll it out until it's a lasagna noodle. Making lasagna by hand it's like a really fun process, but it is like really an all-day process. If you wanna do it proper, we're showing you how to do it proper, but there are shortcuts, honestly. If you just buy pre-made lasagna noodles, you can get the stuff that you ain't even gotta cook. So we're gonna take the fresh dough, and we're gonna start feeding it through the pasta maker. So you wanna start with your pasta maker on thicker, and then gradually get thinner.
Power their play with Iams High Protein.
Meet the 6-in-1 rice cooker from Our Place, powered by Fuzzy Logic, featuring 6 modes for making fluffy, never mushy.
There we go. We're gonna run it through twice on this thickness. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna increase the thinness or decrease the thickness. Boom, science! Every time I hear the word thickness, I just think of Disturbed. Always feed your pasta in vertically. There we go. Don't put your fingers in the holes. All right, here we go. This is the thickness I'm looking for. I can see my...
Look, Sarah, I'm flattered, sweetie, but you're not my type. I couldn't imagine being around a raging leftist while she bitches and complains about nonsensical things and thinks that socialism can work.
Fingers through the lasagna noodles, which is really freaking awesome. If you want to square off your lasagna noodles, you absolutely can. I might do this just so it fits in the pan better. I work with a 13x9 lasagna pan, but honestly, with like the overlapping edges, you don't need to, you know, go super crazy with trying to get them straight like that. And I'm just gonna keep doing this like 35 times. Thinking about that sexy elf chick. Now we're making the base sauce.
The only elf chick, I mean, outside of The Hobbit, was Galadriel. I mean, she wasn't, you know, ugly, but I don't think I'd go like, God damn! I need to see some elven titties!
For lasagna. I'm calling this a baconator bolognese, a bolognese-nator. We're gonna take a lot of bacon. We got like, I don't know, it's like a whole pack, 12 ounces of bacon in there. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're gonna get it rendering in a pan. Anytime I'm cooking with bacon, I always like to start with the bacon because then you're rendering the fat out of the bacon. You don't have to add any supplemental oil because you're getting all that bacon fat. And after that bacon fat starts rendering, we're gonna add some beef and then other things. We're really trying to marry the flavors of baconator and bolognese here. What you could do-
Hey, then it's not a baconator! It's at best a lasagna with American cheese. This is what I get a little annoyed, where it's like you call it something but it's completely different. For you to make a true blue baconator lasagna, you have to include the 6 fucking things that a baconator is. And my thing isn't even the ketchup. It's the mayonnaise.
I thought this was a conspiracy theory that Wendy's uses old burgers in their chili, but it's not. Like, Wendy's chili is made from old burgers, which is actually really cool because they're decreasing any amount of food waste, and it's all like up to health codes because they're kept at a certain...
Who gives a flying fuck about food waste? All right, I gotta pee again.
certain temperature throughout the day, you could take about 5 Baconators, chop them up, and make a bolognese from that in the style of Wendy's chili.
All right, I will see the. I'm gonna try to see this to the end.
Just like the Sardinian grandmothers do. Sardinian grandmothers invented Wendy's chili, don't you know? Baconator has like a really simple flavor profile. There's not a ton going on into it, but there are certain things. Ketchup and mayonnaise is a big part of it. I have not put mayonnaise into a lasagna before, and I don't intend to do it today. Shocking.
Well, then it's not a fucking Baconator. It's just a bacon cheeseburger or whatever the fuck this is. Lasagna. This is the. Again, I have no problem with this young man calling it lasagna. I don't give a sauteed rat's cunt. But, that said, this is not a Baconator lasagna. It's something else. It's a lasagna. Okay, fine, but it's not Baconator. I mean, again, I'm fine with variances, but at some point he's removed, like, what is it, 20% of what makes the Baconator the fucking Baconator? I mean, I already have my way of doing it.
But as far as like the ketchup goes, I feel like we can sort of get that profile just by making this a little bit sweeter than you would think. And we also have all that salty bacon going in there. So it's really gonna counter. So we're gonna add a little bit of sugar with that tomato paste to really kind of give it that.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead to this. I don't need to see how he makes his fucking bullshit. Let's just see the assembly.
We are gardeners.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
I said the ingredients. Open up your fucking ears. These are the ingredients of the Baconator. A bun, beef patties, American cheese, bacon, ketchup, mayo. That's it. There's only 6 ingredients. You remove one of the 6, it's no longer a Baconator. That's why I've never made a Baconator lasagna. I can't figure out how to do the mayo part. Rocket sauce will not survive cooking. Or if it does, it'll just... Okay, if it does, it'll either A, taste like shit in my mind, or B... The mayo will just completely break down and become nothing but a pool of fat.
A layer of both our sauces. Again, no ricotta cheese in here because we're doing bolognese style, but with our hearts in Sardinia. We're gonna spread out a little bit of this bacon bolognese. That is looking really fantastic in there. The bacon.
Well, then why don't you ask your God? Why don't you ask Jake? Why doesn't he make a Baconator lasagna? He's so much better than me. Surely he could crack this code. But he does have to use all 6 ingredients. And there is a solution in my mind, but I think it'll taste like shit. But, yeah. I mean, go for it. Why don't you bug him about it?
Bacon fat really mixes with all that tomato pulp and just creates this awesome, thick boy sauce. So now we're just gonna be all...
Oh, he made a real lasagna. Oh, good for him. I've only made 4. Or actually, I take that back. I'm sorry, sweetheart. 4 that I filmed.
Alternating sauces. Get a nice drizzle drazzle. I love when the creaminess of the bechamel like sort of interacts with the bolognese, and the bechamel, after some of that moisture like leaves the system and gets absorbed by the pasta, it's really going to create this just kind of like nice glue. And so now we got our layer of sauce. Now I'm gonna take these lasagna noodles and then we're just gonna start shingling these down. I'm gonna get another layer of noodles. All right, so I'm just gonna do 2 lasagna layers. You don't want too much overlap in the middle because that's gonna...
This is not a Baconator. This is, at best, a bacon cheeseburger lasagna. And that's me being pretty fucking generous with that term. Like I said, I'm being really generous with that term.
Gonna like sort of start to build up. So we're gonna get that into the sauce and then gonna add more sauce on top. Yeah, Nicole. Nicole's waving her hands. No, no, no. And I say yes, yes, yes. Really spread it out. We want to go pretty thin on the layers because we want some like real nice defined structure. Nicole, do you have something to say, Miss Sai over there? Yeah. I'm gonna load up this layer with bechamel. And then we're gonna take a bunch of these strips of bacon. We want this to really...
Nicole, this guy is starting to annoy me. Please come over and slap the shit out of him.
Mimic a Baconator. So we're gonna add just a fair amount of fresh bacon strips right in there. That way you're gonna get some of that, the whole texture of bacon, and then you got the bacon that's really like braised in the sauce. Get a nice long cook on a bacon. There we go. One for me. One for you. All right. That's what that little green goblin says in Lord of the Rings. He goes, take the ring to Mount Doom you must. Little weirdo.
Okay, this has to be a bit. He can't have fucked up Gollum for Yoda.
As Nicole and I once discussed in our podcast, The Hot Dogs and Sandwich Out, Wednesdays wherever you get your podcasts, in the Infinity Lasagna Paradox episode, lasagna must be at least 3 layers, but I prefer to go at least 4 on this, right? You know, like 1 extra effort, more dollopy. How do I cook anything with the lack of patience that I have? All right, so make sure you're getting all the corners covered. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of, we have a blend of mozzarella and cheddar right here. I'm just gonna put this on that layer. The cheese is just gonna act as a little bit of a...
And again, now you have mozzarella. Now you're adding things. Now you're doing this, you're doing that. And again, look, I'm assuming, and I would assume this lasagna is delicious. But at the same time, when does lasagna end or when does the Baconator end and the lasagna begin?
We don't want it to be too
I'm sorry, but I refuse to say this is a Baconator lasagna.
Prominent in there. And more of these. More lasagna noodles. Yeah, nice thick boys. More sauce. Uh-oh. Gotta start rationing the sauce now. There we go, there we go. Now we got this. Dump all this here. We got 1 more layer, but I'm just gonna do red sauce on top because we want...
But by the way, I am completely in agreement with this guy. Lasagna is way more than 3 fucking layers. Fuck you. Unless you're just doing a quickie.
This just stays the glue. 1 more layer of lasagna noodles. I'm gonna take the last of that bolognese and I'm gonna spread that all over the top. I wanna make sure you get complete coverage here because this is gonna be like the last line of defense. Much like those big ass elephants. They got like little ghouls on top and they're like, let's get the little guy.
Have you watched Lord of the Rings?
And then we're gonna take the rest of our cheese and scatter that neatly about. That is lovely. Now we can, for crying out loud, finally put this in the oven. So I'm actually gonna cover this with tin foil. I'm just gonna do that.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss high school.
It's a new chapter.
That for like the first half an hour, and then for the last 15 minutes, I'm gonna take it out and cook it and broil the cheese. We're trying to get some steam out.
Okay, well, apparently the last season of this shit, they're all in their 20s, so what I said wasn't creepy.
Action there. I have my lasagna sheet on a baking pan because lasagna is famous for drippage in Sardinia. So I'll pop it on a sheet pan, nice easy little fix. And we're gonna throw it in there. Yeah. And now you have time to watch the 4th Lord of the Rings movie. This is freaking fantastic. I love a nice, well-browned lasagna. You see.
Except he didn't show the part where he removed the tin foil and then popped it back in for about 10 minutes, but hell, he probably forgot about it because that looks slightly overdone. Actually, a little more than slightly.
There is just grease coming from every pore of this. I suppose I'm just gonna take a slice out of it right now. V, you like the corner piece or the...
No, don't! Let it rest 10 fucking minutes, you stupid son of a bitch!
The middle piece.
Middle.
Like directly in the middle? You sociopath? I'm not doing that. I do that with pumpkin pie. I just slurp the filling out of the middle. The first slice of lasagna is always the hardest to get out. I never know it.
Yes, because because you're cutting it too early and everything is fucking wetter than goddamn Megan Fox's cunt. Although I gotta find a new actress to pin that on because she's drying up quicker than the Sahara.
To do it. So I'm just gonna try and on 3 kind of mash it. 1, 2, go! Sit! Where are we at? Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. Oh, wow. This is fantastic. You see, there's so much.
I couldn't make this. Of course I can.
Of that bechamel that has just like become a glue and held these pasta layers together. You really smell the cheese that's been.
No, I don't like my pasta drier than fucking whatever. You always let pasta or you always let lasagna rest about 5-10 minutes because if you pull it out too early, it goes to shit when you start eating it. Right now, yes, it is holding together. But when you go to eat it, everything is going to squirt out this side. And I think I gave this video a fair enough shake. And, well, hell, it's time for the chef to return to his kitchen and feed people he actually gives a shit about. Good night, everybody.